Hello, it's me again, Laura Kimmick. I know it's been a while. Happy New Year 2026. I turned 61, this month. And I'm new. I've been I'm not a professional YouTuber, so I'm sure there's a lot of things I'm not doing right, like the clutter in the back. My I'm faded. It's video's clear, but there's a lot of glare, especially with my glasses on. I need them because I don't see well without them. I am, you know, farsighted. I can see far away, but not up close very well. So I love my, progressive lenses, also known as modern day bifocals. And I'm trying out this microphone my son Kobe, he'll be 24 in March, has given nice enough to give to me. And all I have to do is order a new cord. I hope it's working. Well, as long as you can hear me, even if you don't hear any difference, you know, it's working. Um, well, I'm hoping to get to interview at Jet still. And this video is for anyone age 50 plus, and applying for the JET program, especially the JET program USA, Japan Exchange and Teaching. And but it's also anyone's welcome to watch the video, and it's especially geared for people 50 plus applying for the first time, whether they have zero work experience or a ton of it, or in between like me. So I did look at my SOP statement of purpose, also known as an essay, and and took notes on my essay because I would been doing research and found out they do ask you what you wrote in your own statement of purpose SOP. So I guess they'll choose people for an interview. I didn't make it last time. My guess is around Martin Luther King Day, which is mid-January. And of course, us in the USA know what Martin Luther King Jr. is day. What Martin Luther King Jr. Day is. And so I've been trying to read the JET handbook too to find out, more information about the JET program, since I never joined before. And I was turned down the first time, but this time I have my Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish from Oregon State University as of June 2025, Saturday, June 14th, 2025 to be exact, 7 months ago. So I'm very proud about that. I did qualify because if you're close to get within like 9 months to get to a year of getting your bachelor's degree or higher, you can apply. So I think one thing I did do this time is make sure I actually had 2 pages, which I forgot to check last time. They never tell you why you were not selected, so I'm assuming that's the main reason I wasn't. And I made my essay even more personal about me, like writing a novel, not a term paper. And, if I do get hired, my wonderful husband, who will be 76 years old, but not until December 7th of this year, will be coming with me. He'll be in Japan part-time and help me get settled, or say us get settled. And we'll see where I end up if I get hired. Of course, there's other companies I can apply to if I don't get hired. So I'm not putting all of my eggs in one basket. I've been looking at, interview tips. And it looks like the most important thing is keep a positive attitude and not only be friendly, also look friendly and be approachable. So it's I live here in Ecuador as a U.S. citizen, but I'm a naturalized Ecuadorian citizen too, so I have dual citizenship. And my husband and I wouldn't, much as we love Ecuador, we wouldn't mind living in Japan. It's like it'd be a new chapter in our lives, and the goal would be to be permanent residents of Japan. Because being a citizen of Japan, that would be nothing wrong with it, but it's a big decision because there's no turning back once you give up your, previous citizenships. And our son, he's supportive of us moving to Japan, and we reassured him that no matter where we live, we will not be moving in with him. So he was relieved to hear that. He's going to graduate from a language school in Kochi, Japan this year, and then go to the same language school, and then specialize in video game design. So, which is impressive, could be anywhere from 2, 3, or 4 years. He'll decide if he wants to pursue a bachelor's degree or just get an equivalent of associate degree. Either way, he'll do well and get a job. Yeah, so it's just him. He's not married. He doesn't have any children yet, but he likes to when in the foreseeable future, in a few years. And when we do go, if we don't get to Japan, get the job, well, my consolation prize will be my husband, Randy, and I visiting Japan, later this year. And Kobe, our son, always looks forward to seeing us when we do visit. And we have friends in Japan as well. And I also have my friend John Daub, JohnDaub, who is a YouTuber. And I'm in 2 of his videos so far. Maybe I'll be in a 3rd video with him. He's a really great guy and a great friend. And he gives excellent information about Japan, even though he's American, but his wife is Japanese. And they do have a young son. So, and of course, I do check in. If I have a question, I do call the Washington, D.C. embassy, the Japan part. And they're very receptive to questions. So which is great. So my advice to those who do work for the JET program, whatever job you have, full-time, part-time, paid, unpaid, even if it's very similar to any job you have, like assistant language teacher, ALT, or a coordinator of international relations, CIR, or even this sports exchange advisor, you have to give up all previous employment, even if you don't get paid for it. So be prepared for that, and don't apply unless you're willing to live anywhere, and I do mean anywhere in Japan. You can choose where you want to live, but there's no guarantee you'll get it. The Japanese government will choose for you. And I'm sorry to be repeating what I said in previous videos. Look at it this way. At least you don't have to go back and find out what I said before. I'm glad I finally have the time to make another video and upload it to YouTube. I would also like to continue learning Japanese Sign Language. I have to continue with that too. I have videos on YouTube and TikTok about that as well, but I haven't made it through the whole alphabet yet. I eventually will now that I graduated and don't have lots of homework. So, and also in the JET manual, it's excellent. It's in either Japanese, English, or both, and they do have things of what they have is for scenarios, like worst case scenarios and how they're handled too. So be sure to read that part of the JET manual. Anyone can download it as a PDF file to their laptop or computer, a tablet or phone, or any of those technical devices. So I am working on my Japanese, and I'm working on it as though they would hire me as a CIR, which most likely they won't, but at least they'll give me a competitive edge and advantage knowing some Japanese. And I'm sure the Japanese teachers will appreciate the fact that I know some Japanese. I'm not coming in with 0 Japanese. But if you have 0 Japanese, still apply for ALT, Assistant Language Teacher, because once you're hired, you can, even before you're hired, even after you're hired, they will definitely make time for you to learn Japanese. Even on their websites for JET members, there are free Japanese resources you can use to learn Japanese or to continue learning Japanese like me. And I'm really serious about it now. I've been doing it off and on since 2018. And I started when my son wanted to learn at age 16. He's now 23. And I'm glad I did. He never looked back. That's the only foreign language he wanted to learn. But as for me, I love learning Japanese. It's the first foreign language I learned that doesn't have a Latin alphabet, or say the Roman alphabet. So, and I'm also learning, my reasoning for learning other languages, because I might meet other JET members in other countries, and not all JET members speak English. And there's Japanese. I'm learning that. Then I'm also learning Spanish. Of course, I've been learning Spanish longer than Japanese, especially because I live here in Ecuador and I'm a citizen, Ecuador and the U.S., dual citizen. Learning Portuguese, and there are Spanish and Portuguese speakers in Japan. They live in Oizuma in the Gunma, Gunma, prefecture. And I'm also learning French and German. There are many French and German tourists visit Japan. That's another motivation. Yeah, so it is useful in Japan because you may run into, people who live in Japan and people visiting Japan who speak French and German. And I kid you not, last time I visited Japan last year, during the fall, I heard so much French and German. And I wanted to talk to him, but I couldn't. But maybe by next time, I'd be able to talk to him. But of course, at the same time, keep up on my Japanese, because that's very important to learn for living in Japan. I look at it this way. You're learning Japanese, because, that's what you will know. And another reason you learn Japanese, because that's the language that most Japanese know. They don't know any other language. But slowly, English is making its way into Japan. But it's not widespread, especially outside of big cities like Tokyo, Fukuoka, Osaka, Yokohama, places like that. Or even Okinawa. So I visited many places in Japan, but I would love to visit Okinawa, the one place in Japan that doesn't snow. And I heard the beaches are beautiful. And of course, they have military bases. Of course, another option is I could work for the U.S. government and go to Japan. But of course, I have to be willing to go to probably just pretty much Tokyo or Okinawa and not many other places. So I wouldn't apply unless I'm willing to do that. So I also learned to know what you're signing up for. And also encourage people, no matter how old you are, and you have at least a bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, in anything, and I do mean anything, you can still apply for the JET program. Don't let your age, stop you from applying or reapplying. And of course, the recruitment is only once a year, September, October, November. And also get all your affairs in order, as early as you can. I say at least 3 months in advance, especially the references. Those usually take the longest. And if you can have someone help you with your SOP, that would be great too, especially if it's a current or former JET member. That's best. And the references have to be academic or professional. It can't be friends or family members or total strangers. Yeah, so, but if I do get the interview, I'll find out if I'm hired, you know, sometime in April, and then leave in sometime in July or August. And another good way, it would be good news if even if I get on a short list. That means that if someone quits, putting it bluntly, runs away screaming, then I could take their place, and hopefully I don't experience what they experience and run away screaming too. But the JEP program has people you can talk to, unlike Japanese language schools, where you're pretty much on your own. And if you're getting bullied, which I experienced, they don't help you. So if you want to join Japanese language school, you better be strong mentally, have really good mental health, because it will destroy you if you don't. And my mental health is good, and luckily I didn't let it destroy me. And luckily I didn't destroy others, because the nice thing about being older, you have the maturity to take the high road when there's that adversity. But I did try the language school, but what disqualified me, besides, my age, which is 61, I'll be 62 this month, was the fact that I did not want to go on to university to get another bachelor's degree or master's or PhD. And also I took the JLPT N5 almost 5 years ago and didn't pass it. Part of it because I was trying to get my bachelor's degree and it was too hard to study for that and pass all my classes. I'm sure one day I could take the JLPT again, the N5, or maybe by the way I'm studying, I might be able to take the N1, next time and pass it. So I'm, staying confident. Like they say, if you believe it and you conceive it, you will achieve it. And I do believe that. And there's no easy way to success. So cheating will never get ahead if you cheat. That's another one of my advice. And it'd be nice to be a ALT. Just like I'm happy to be a grandmother, because my granddaughter, she turns 6 months on Tuesday, January 6th. So my first grandchild, my first biological grandchild, my granddaughter. And, that's a little bit about, my personal life. So, yes, could my husband apply? Yes, he could, even at 74 years old. But he doesn't want to, and I respect that. Because he already has a bachelor's degree, a bachelor of, I think, science in psychology from Cal State Northridge. He's a class of 78. Yeah, so I told him I'd be more happy to apply for the both of us. But no matter what happens, it's all good. I'm positive about the future. I love looking forward to a bright future. No matter what happens in the world, I believe that the future will always be bright. Well, I'm sure you can hear me, and this is a good way to test this microphone, see if there's any difference in my voice compared to this microphone and using the microphone in my laptop, even though it's a good quality Windows laptop. Okay. So in Ecuador, do we have Japanese people here? Yes, but very few. Most of them are in the Quito area. In fact, I haven't met very many Japanese people here. But I do know one Japanese guy personally from Canada, and his wife is Chinese, and she's from Canada. When they're Canadian, because they were born and raised in Canada. A nice couple. They live out in the countryside like me. Yeah, so ignore the ticking. That's some kind of box probably connected to, my internet here. So everyone, I'll be back as soon as I can with an update. Bye-bye.